My love, don't skip this. This might be the last time I say this. My love, I didn't expect it to hurt like this. I thought I was prepared, you know. Prepared for the silence, for the distance, for the empty spaces where your voice used to live. But I wasn't prepared to see you happy without me. I saw your smile, the kind I used to believe was mine. I heard your laughter, the one that once felt like home. And in that moment, something inside me quietly broke. Not because I don't want you to be happy. God knows I always wanted that for you, even if it cost me everything. But because I realized the world kept moving for you, while mine stopped the day you left. And maybe that's what love really is. Watching the person you would give your life for. Find joy in a life that no longer includes you, my love. I saw you today. Not up close, not the way I used to. Where I could trace the emotions in your eyes before you even spoke, but from a distance. Quiet, unnoticed, like a stranger standing at the edge of a life that once felt like home. And you were smiling. Not the kind of smile you give the world to be polite, not the one that fades when no one's looking. No, this was real, soft, alive, effortless. The kind of smile I used to believe belonged to us, to the little moments we built together, to the way we understood each other without trying. But today, it wasn't mine anymore, and I wish I could tell you that I felt nothing. That I had moved on, that I had grown past the part of me that still searches for you in every crowded room. In every familiar laugh, in every quiet night that feels too long. I wish I could say that seeing you like that didn't shake something deep inside me. But it did. It hurt in a way I didn't expect, not loud, not dramatic, but quiet, slow. Like something breaking without making a sound, because I realized you learned how to be happy without me. And maybe that's what you were always supposed to do. Maybe love was never about holding on forever. Maybe it was about giving someone enough of yourself that they could carry a piece of that love into a life where you no longer exist. But knowing that doesn't make it easier. There was a time when your happiness and mine were intertwined, so deeply that one couldn't exist without the other. I remember how your eyes would light up when you saw me, how your voice would soften when you said my name, how the world felt quieter, safer, kinder, just because we were in it together. We weren't perfect. We had our flaws, our silences, our misunderstandings that stretched longer than they should have. But even in those moments, there was something real, something honest. Something that made me believe that no matter how far we drifted, we would always find our way back. I held on to that belief longer than I should have. Even when the conversations became shorter, when the laughter faded into something distant, when your presence started to feel like something I had to reach for instead of something that was just there. I told myself it was just a phase. That life gets complicated, that people get tired, that love sometimes needs space to breathe. But I didn't realize. Sometimes space doesn't bring people closer. Sometimes it teaches them how to live apart. And slowly, without either of us saying it out loud, we became strangers. Not all at once. Not in a single moment that we could point to and say, "This is where it ended." But in 1,000 little ways. In the messages that took longer to reply. In the calls that felt like obligations instead of comfort. In the silence that grew between us until it became louder than anything we could say. And I stayed in that silence, hoping it would change. Hoping that one day you would look at me the way you used to, that you would remember what we had, that you would feel it again. Because I never stopped feeling it. Even when it hurt, even when it became clear that I was holding on to something that was slowly slipping away, I couldn't let go. Not of you, you were never just a person to me. You were a part of my world, a part of my identity, a part of the way I understood love itself. Loving you felt like breathing, natural, necessary, unquestioned. And when you left, it wasn't just your absence I had to learn to live with. It was the emptiness you left behind. An emptiness that didn't make sense at first. I would wake up expecting to see your name on my phone, expecting to hear your voice, expecting something, anything, that would remind me that we were still connected in some way. But there was nothing, just silence, and at first I fought it. I filled my days with distractions, with noise, with anything that could keep me from thinking about you. I told myself that I would be okay. That time heals everything, that people move on. But healing isn't something that happens just because you want it to. It takes time, it takes patience, and sometimes it takes facing the pain you've been trying so hard to avoid. So I stopped running from it. I let myself feel it. The loneliness, the confusion, the quiet ache of missing someone who no longer belongs to you. And it wasn't easy. There were nights when everything felt heavier, when memories came back uninvited, when I would find myself replaying moments we shared, wondering where it all went wrong. Was it something I said, something I didn't say, a moment I missed, a chance I didn't take, a sign I didn't see? I asked myself those questions more times than I can count. But the truth is, sometimes love doesn't end because of one big mistake. Sometimes it fades, slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and realize that what you have isn't what it used to be. And no matter how much you want it back, you can't force it. That's the hardest part. Accepting that love, real love, isn't something you can hold on to by sheer will. It either exists or it doesn't, and when it's gone, you're left with memories. Beautiful, painful, irreplaceable memories. Memories of the way you used to look at me. Of the way we used to laugh. Of the way everything felt when we were still us. And today, seeing you smile like that, it brought all of those memories back. Not in a way that made me angry or bitter or resentful, but in a way that made me realize something I had been trying not to see. You're okay. You found your way through the pain, through the ending, through whatever it was that broke us apart. And you came out on the other side, happy. And part of me, the part that still loves you, is grateful for that. Because your happiness was always important to me. Even when I knew, deep down, that it might not include me anymore. But there's another part of me, a quieter, more fragile part, that still wonders if you ever think about me the way I think about you. If there are moments, small, unexpected moments, where something reminds you of us. A song, a place, a memory that refuses to fade, and for a second, just a second, you feel it again. Not enough to go back, not enough to change anything, but enough to remember that what we had was real. Because it was real to me, every moment of it, every word, every touch, every silence that we shared. It mattered. You mattered, and maybe that's why it hurts the way it does. Not because you're happy, but because I'm no longer a part of that happiness. And I don't know if I ever will be again. My love, it wasn't the goodbye that broke me. It was everything that came after. The silence, not the peaceful kind, not the kind you choose when you just need a moment to breathe. I'm talking about the kind that lingers, the kind that fills every corner of your day without asking for permission. The kind that reminds you, again and again, that someone who used to be there isn't anymore. You see, I was never afraid of distance. I believed in us enough to think we could survive it. I thought even if life pulled us in different directions, we would still find a way to meet in the middle, because that's what love does. Right, it finds a way, but I never realized that silence can create a distance far greater than miles ever could. At first, it didn't feel like silence. It felt like a pause. Like maybe you were busy. Maybe you needed time. Maybe something in your world needed your attention more than I did at that moment. And I understood that. I respected it. I told myself, give it time, they'll come back, they always do. So I waited. I waited for your message, for your voice, for something, anything, that would tell me I still had a place in your world. And when my phone lit up, my heart would race for a second, hoping it was you. But most of the time it was, and slowly that hope started to fade. Not all at once, not in a dramatic way, but quietly, like a light that dims so gradually, you don't notice how dark it's become until you're already standing in it. The conversations we used to have, the ones that lasted for hours, turned into short replies, then into delayed replies, and then into nothing at all. And I kept telling myself, don't overthink it. Don't make it bigger than it is. People get busy, life happens. But deep down, I knew. I knew something was changing. I could feel it in the spaces between your words, in the way your presence no longer felt the same, in the way I had to reach for you instead of simply finding you there. And still, I stayed not because I didn't see it, but because I didn't want to believe it. Because accepting that silence meant accepting that I was losing you. And I wasn't ready for that. You don't realize how loud silence can be until it's the only thing left. It follows you everywhere. In the mornings, when you wake up and instinctively reach for your phone, only to remember there's nothing waiting for you. In the afternoons, when something happens and you want to tell the one person who used to understand every little detail, but you don't, because you don't know if you still can. In the nights when everything slows down and there's no distraction left, just your thoughts and the echoes of what used to be. And those echoes, they don't leave easily, they stay with you. They replay the way we used to talk, the way your voice carried warmth, the way even your silence back then felt comforting, not empty like it does now. That's the part that hurts the most, because your silence now, it's different. It's not the kind we shared when words weren't necessary, when just being there was enough. This silence, it feels like absence, like a door that's been quietly closed without ever saying why. And I stood there on the other side of that door for longer than I should have. Waiting, hoping, telling myself that maybe, just maybe, you would open it again. But you didn't, and every day that passed, the silence grew heavier. It started to change me. I became quieter, more distant, less certain of myself. I started questioning things I never questioned before. Was I too much, not enough? Did I say something wrong, or did I just stop being right for you? And the hardest part, there were no answers because silence doesn't explain itself. It doesn't give you closure. It doesn't tell you what went wrong. It just exists, leaving you to fill in the blanks with your own thoughts, your own fears, your own doubts. And I filled those blanks with you, with memories of how things used to be, trying to hold on to them, trying to make sense of how something that felt so real, so strong, could turn into something so distant, so quiet. I missed your voice, not just the sound of it, but the way it made everything feel lighter. I missed the way you used to say my name, like it meant something. I missed the way we could talk about nothing, and somehow it felt like everything. And in that silence, I realized something I didn't want to admit. I wasn't just missing you. I was missing the version of me that existed when you were still here. The version of me that felt seen, understood, chosen. Because when you stopped talking, it felt like you stopped choosing me. And that kind of silence, it doesn't just break your heart. It makes you question your worth. It makes you wonder if you were ever enough to begin with. But here's the truth I had to learn slowly, painfully. Your silence wasn't my failure. It wasn't proof that I wasn't enough. It was proof that something in us had changed. And maybe you didn't know how to say it. Maybe you didn't have the words. Maybe walking away quietly felt easier than explaining something you couldn't fully understand yourself. And I don't hate you for that. I don't even blame you. Because love, as beautiful as it is, can also be complicated. And sometimes, people don't leave with loud goodbyes. Sometimes, they leave in silence, not because what we had didn't matter, but because they no longer know how to stay. And I had to learn that waiting in that silence was only hurting me. That holding on to something that no longer reached back was slowly breaking me apart. So I did the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I stopped waiting. Not because I stopped caring, not because I stopped loving you, but because I finally understood. That silence was your answer, my love. There was a time when I thought loving you meant holding on to every memory, every promise, every version of us that ever existed. I believed that if I just stayed long enough, tried hard enough, loved deeply enough, then somehow we would find our way back to what we once were. But love, real love, it doesn't always work that way. Because sometimes, loving someone doesn't mean keeping them. Sometimes, It means learning how to let them go, and I won't lie to you. That lesson didn't come easy. It didn't come with clarity or peace or understanding. It came with resistance, with sleepless nights and endless questions, with moments where my heart refused to accept what my mind was slowly beginning to understand. How do you let go of someone who once felt like you're forever? How do you release the person who taught your heart what love even is? I asked myself that over and over again, and every time, the answer felt impossible, because letting go felt like losing you all over again. It felt like admitting that the story I held onto so tightly wasn't going to have the ending I believed in. It felt like closing a chapter I wasn't ready to finish. But the truth is, I wasn't holding onto you anymore. I was holding onto memories, to moments that had already passed, to a version of us that no longer existed. And no matter how tightly I held on to them, they weren't going to bring you back. That's the part that breaks you quietly. Realizing that love, no matter how deep, how pure, how real it felt, isn't always enough to make someone stay. And for a long time, I fought that truth. I told myself that love should be stronger than distance, stronger than silence, stronger than whatever it was that pulled us apart. But love isn't about control. It isn't about forcing someone to choose you, or convincing them to feel something they no longer feel. Love is about freedom, and that's the hardest part to accept. Because if you truly love someone, you have to allow them to be who they are, even if that means being someone who no longer belongs with you. And I didn't understand that at first. I thought letting go meant giving up. I thought it meant I didn't care enough, that I wasn't strong enough to fight for us. But I was wrong. Letting go isn't weakness, it's one of the strongest things a heart can learn to do, because it requires you to face the truth. Not the version you wish for, not the version you keep replaying in your mind, but the reality of what is. And the reality was, you were no longer mine, not in the way you used to be, not in the way I kept hoping you would be again. And holding on to you was only holding me back from healing, from growing, from becoming someone who could live without constantly looking behind. So slowly, I started to loosen my grip, not all at once, not perfectly. There were days I slipped back into old habits. Days where I missed you so much it felt unbearable. Days where I questioned everything all over again. But with each passing moment, I began to understand something deeper. Loving you didn't have to end just because we did. Because love isn't just about presence. It's not just about being together, sharing space, living side by side. Love is something that stays, even when everything else changes. And I still love you. Not in the same way. Not in the way that expects you to come back. Not in the way that waits for your messages or searches for your presence in every moment. But in a quieter way, a softer way, a way that doesn't demand anything from you. I love you in the way I hope you're happy, even if that happiness has nothing to do with me. I love you in the way I wish you peace, in every path you choose to walk. I love you in the way I remember you, not with bitterness or regret, but with gratitude for what we had, for what we shared, for what you taught me about love and about myself. Because you did teach me something. You taught me how deeply I can feel, how completely I can give my heart to someone, how love can transform even the smallest moments into something meaningful. And even though it ended, I don't regret it. I don't regret you. Because what we had was real, and real things, even when they don't last, they leave something behind. They shape you, they change you, they become a part of who you are. And you are a part of me now, not in a way that holds me back, but in a way that reminds me that I am capable of loving even when it hurts, even when it doesn't stay. That's what letting go gave me, not emptiness, not loss, but understanding. Understanding that love isn't always about staying. Sometimes, it's about knowing when to release, when to step back, when to allow life to move forward, even if it means moving forward without each other. And that doesn't erase what we were. It doesn't make it meaningless. If anything, it makes it more honest, because I didn't love you to keep you. I loved you because you were you. And if being you means finding a life that doesn't include me, then loving you means accepting that, even when it hurts, even when a part of me still wishes things were different, even when memories come back and remind me of everything we once were. I choose to let you go, not because I stopped loving you, but because I love you enough to not hold you in a place you no longer belong. And maybe one day, that kind of love won't feel like pain anymore. Maybe it will feel like peace, a quiet understanding that some people come into your life, not to stay forever, but to teach you something you could have never learned any other way. And you taught me how to love, even when letting go was the only way left to love you.